Tell me more about the content that you decided to write about and why it's important to you and how you made that decision.
So in the fall, I plan to double major in electrical and biomedical engineering. And electrical engineering, despite having the lowest wage gap in the United States for any career, also has one of the lowest percentages of women. And, I'm not necessarily worried about working with other men, but I think it's something that needs to be discussed because there's no reason that there shouldn't be more women. Women are not incapable of doing the math or the science or the engineering that's behind the field. So why are there less women? And it's something I'm really passionate about because my dad's also an electrical engineer and I've seen it as I've grown up. And so.
So tell me about your process in reporting the story. What did you do? What did you go through? What were some of the challenges or some of the really telling points that you experienced as you put this piece together?
So coincidentally, my dad actually has a female graduate student right now, and the company I'm working at has one female employee, and I don't know how it worked out so perfectly that those are the people who were in my life at the time I was working on the story, but I found both of their stories really inspiring, and so I kind of tried to shape my story around both my experience and what I thought their experiences were and what it would be helpful to tell other people about, because I know it's not something that is widely talked about, is the disparity of women in engineering and physical sciences. So I kind of use them as models.
Absolutely. Is there anything else that you want to talk about or anything that's important to you or revelations that you've had as you've gone through this process with working with Making Waves and also with working with Miss Weaver?
So this isn't necessarily related to my story, but as we were working on our stories, we would meet every week. And despite the fact I was already close friends with many of the people there, and I had known Sarah, I felt that I became closer to them and more connected to them, because typically I'm a very chatty person, but I talk about superficial things. I'm kind of reserved emotionally, and so it was nice to have a space where you could just honestly talk about stories that were meaningful to you, or even things that weren't necessarily meaningful but held some significance.
Absolutely.